Hey everybody, my name's Brad. If you haven't seen any of my videos yet, I'm a missionary. Me and my family are missionaries in South Mexico in the mountains. We minister to the indigenous people groups. Actually, on my way out right now to visit a family. Give you a little shot of the mountains out here. Maybe you can see those houses over there. So forgive all the movement. The roads are terrible. A lot of potholes, a lot of bumps, but I just wanted to share a quick testimony and then give some thoughts on it, about it. About a year ago, we went into a small village, me and another guy, and a national. We started going around just handing out tracts, visiting people, talking to them. We came across this family and they invited us in, gave us seats, chairs, pulled out their chairs, and, we sat down and we started talking to them. And long story short, they ended up really just, I guess you could say, venting, especially the lady, really venting about this stuff that's happened in her life. These people they have it rough out here. And we shared Jesus with her. She accepted, man, and when she accepted, her whole countenance just changed, and started making food, preparing food for us, and invited us to the table to sit down, and we ate, and she had this big smile on her face. Gave her a Bible, showed her both of them, and showed her where to start reading, and she was just super excited, man. And we left just on cloud nine, like just super pumped, and told them we'd be back in a week. So we go back, got some cows here. Should give you a little shot. A life of a missionary. Buenos dias. And so we went back, and they were just different, and it's almost like they were mad or sad or wouldn't. And so they started talking to us, and they said, "We don't want you to come anymore." So we were like, "What's going on?" She said, "The people came as soon as y'all left. They came, because any small villages, they see everything. They know who comes in, and so she said, after y'all left, the people came in of their village and said, if you enter in with these people, we're going to take your, if you change religions, other words, we're going to take away your fertilizer. We're going to take away your electricity and your water and all that." And so they were like, we don't want that to happen. And sadly, they even gave us the Bibles back, and that's a sad thing when you give somebody a Bible and then you go back and they hand it back to you. That's heartbreaking. That right there, that's just one testimony, and that's happened a lot to us out here. So my thoughts and the reason given that testimony is that, for example, last night I was watching a debate between Trent Horn and James White that they recently did on Sola Scriptura. And, you see all these other videos, especially like Trent Horn, seems like a really nice guy, but boy, really, really goes after Protestants and really goes after Sola Scriptura like everybody else, like all the Catholics do. My thing isn't to argue about that. There's always going to be debates, and that's going to continue, and that's not my thing. My thing is that they attack it and they say, well, look at what that's produced. 30,000 denominations. Oh, good job. And to be honest with you, it upsets me. It upsets me. For one, there's not 30,000 denominations. I want to see that list, for one. And they act like there's nothing wrong in the Catholic Church, like it's all one, everybody believes the same, and and they reject sola scriptura, and it's that plus tradition. They're on the same level. We know, if only you could come down here and see this, like how they say, look what sola scriptura has produced. Look at all the denominations. Well, come down here and look at what tradition has done. I mean, the same thing Jesus corrected the Pharisees about. You set aside the commandments of God. You set aside that, and you hold to the traditions of men. And boy, here it is horrible. And like I've said in my other videos, Catholicism here is so different than the States. So different. And people say, oh, well, that's because before they had their rituals and they've kind of mixed that up, and that's why, and maybe. But look at what opening a door to tradition has caused. And the priests here, they don't teach the people. They don't talk about repentance. They know good and well that these people are not walking with God. They are drunks. They are, oh my goodness. The list goes on. And they don't call that out. And it's like I look at these priests and I'm like, these guys are going to have so much blood on their hands of holding back the truth, of like saying in the Old Testament, there were prophets going around, peace, 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 when there's not peace, like going around saying, it's okay. And these people, they go to mass and they do communion and they get baptized when they're babies, and it's like, but look at their lives. There's no repentance. There's no fruit. I'm not saying every single one, but I mean the majority of the people here have no clue. And so we go in, and try to help these people and bring the gospel, and then stuff like this happens. And they're Catholics. The people that in this specific testimony that I just shared, they're Catholics. They're Catholics. And it's just wild. So, again, I probably get a little bit more upset about that stuff just because of what we have to deal with here, and the condition of these people here. Like, man, they are so lost and have no idea, and it's a mess. So it's like, okay, look what tradition has done. You want to say, oh, look what sola scriptura has done, and there's 30,000 denominations, and look what tradition has done. I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, I could keep on going, but I just wanted to share that testimony because again, stuff like this doesn't happen in America. You can be Catholic, you can be Orthodox, you can be Protestant, you can be whatever you want to be. There's no hardly any persecution to anybody. I mean, you got some people saying stuff and all that, but it's so different here. And that's my goal, is to shed some light on, because there's more than just America. Like, that's just one country. and the stuff that goes on in other countries, that you have all these Catholics, like for example James White and Trent Horn, you know, in the States. And I'm sure they've traveled around and they kind of know, but we live here. Like I've been living here 12, 13 years. And people just aren't aware of this. They're aware of what goes on in the States. And again, totally different here. But look what tradition has done, you know. And I have people, you know, hell, you know, they fire back at me. Well, you know, I invite you to come on down. I invite you to come on down. I'll pick you up at the airport, and you can come see for yourself how bad it is here. So, anyway, just food for thought. Just want to shed some light. Don't know how many views this is going to get. I don't know. But hey, never know. God bless.